Alrighty, so unfortunately, I am not here today. I still really struggling to breathe at night and did not sleep very much last night. And when I did wake up this morning, I woke up with migraine. Could be from not sleeping well, not breathing well. Could be from the weather deciding it wants to be warm today. So there's many factors that could be affecting my head right now. But anyways, I am going to do my best to help you with today's work through this video. Okay, so I've made this little flow chart. So remember, our job is to eliminate and get the variable by itself. So the first thing we get rid of is the constant term. Remember, that's the number that does not have the variable attached to it, but it's on the same side as the equal sign. When we look, do we see addition or do we see subtraction? Okay, so, and I need to switch this to my pen so I can actually draw. There we go. And back. Okay, so if you see addition, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to say if we see addition, we're going to subtract. We see subtraction, we're going to add. Okay, so when I look at the very first one, I see addition. So that means I have to subtract, and on both sides of the equal sign, if you need to put a little line there so you remember both sides of the line to do your work, do that. The whole reason why we do this is so that these cancel and we're only left with 4x on the left side. And 21 minus 5 is 16. Now we look, what do we see? Well, I see multiplication. Okay, so if we see multiplication, we're going to then divide. That's our coefficient. So now divide by 4. And x equals 4. And then, of course, check the work. Remember, you are not changing anything other than the variable. You do not change it so that your answer works, because then it's not really checking your answer. All right, so 4 times 4 is 16, plus 5 equals 21, and 21 equals 21. And we are good. Okay? All righty. Now let's look at the next problem. Let's see if I can switch my pen color. Not paintbrush. Go red. Okay, so now we have a negative. Oh, nope, I didn't change the whole thing. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, my head is not thinking very well today. Okay, we see subtraction, so I have to add. So that's the opposite of subtraction. Bring down your negative 3r because it does not just disappear. And that is going to equal, well, 27. Now, when you divide, what number is with the r? Our negative 3. So we have to divide by both positive, the negative 3's. Now remember, different signs. That means automatically my r is a negative, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. So now we go back and check our work. Is negative 3 times negative 9 minus 11 going to equal 16? We hope so. Two negatives make a positive 27. And then 16 equals 16. Yay. All right, let's go to our next one. Let's go blue. All right, and if you already did these, awesome. And you're just checking your work and correcting it. Now 3, we changed it up because here's my variable. That's what I want to get by itself. So I have to get rid of my negative 20 by adding 20 on both sides. And remember, when you get to the other side of the equal sign, you are following integer rules. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher value. So 5r equals negative 15. And then I divide by 5. different signs means a negative 3. So we check, is negative 20 plus 5 times negative 3 equal to negative 35? Well, what's negative 20 plus negative 15? It is negative 35, and we are good on that one. Oops, I put an R. All right, let's look at our next. Let's go green. And center page. All right, again, my operation is addition. So the opposite is subtracting by negative 17. But remember, if we had 13 minus negative 17, we have to keep change to 13 plus 17. So we're really, I don't know why I put equal sign. Sorry, guys. Plus 17. Then negative x equals 30. Okay, now remember that little negative, what number is technically in front of it? The invisible negative 1. Oh, it's not letting me use Korean. Oh, sorry. It is still just being funky today. I guess highlighter. Oh, there it goes. It finally got 1. So we are going to divide both sides by a negative 1. So then x equals a negative 3. So now we check it. Okay. So is a negative of negative 3 plus negative 17, oops, let me go, equal to 13. Well, this makes a positive 3. Wait, did I do that? No, 30. My bad. I'm telling you guys, I am losing it today. Plus a negative 17 equal to 13. Different signs subtract. So if I subtract, I get 13 equals 13. Alrighty. So let's look at the whole page so you can get, again, your double check your answers. Okay, so number 1 was 4, x equals 4. Then 2 was r equals negative 9. 3 was r equals negative 3. And 4x equals negative 30. Okay. Now this is where you guys are going to also come in, and this is your worksheet. This is actually your homework. So you get like the whole rest of the hour to work on homework. That doesn't happen very often. Right? So I even have, we like using these sometimes. They're called a guided practice to help you, because how many of you actually get out your notes when you're at home? So it already has examples, and it also tells you the order to do your work. First, you do any addition or subtraction. Then you do your multiplication or division. Okay, so eventually you're going to have where you have division, but not this time around. I think this is still all just multiplication. Okay, so number 1, you have 4y plus 1 equals 13. Show that you're going to subtract 1 on both sides. Then bring your 4y down, and that equals 12. Then show you're going to divide by 4, and y equals 3. Now, notice it says check your solution. That's getting you prepared for tomorrow's 5-question quiz. Okay, so make sure you're actually coming through and checking your work. Okay, so if you write big, you might want to write a little bit smaller, or do your checking on another piece of paper and staple it to your homework. All right, so 12 plus 1, we all know, yes, is 13. Okay, I showed my work, I checked my answer. Right? So let's look at the next one. Now this one's written a little bit differently. You notice your variable is on the right side. It does not matter where your variable is. Your job is still to get rid of your variable. So I look, what is the opposite of subtracting 2? Adding 2. And then I have my equation line there. Those cancel. 3x equals, well, I owe you $11 and I gave you 2. So I still owe you 9 buckaroos. Okay, this multiplication. So now divide. 3's cancel. X equals, and then different signs is a negative 3. Right? So is negative 11 equal to 3 times negative 3 minus 2? Negative 11 equals negative 9 minus 2. Remember, keep change, add the opposite, so that I really have, yes, negative 11 equals negative 11. See, that's why those integer practice that we did at the beginning of the year was so important. Okay? All right, so then there's also a link to help you as you do the rest of these. Well, let me go back. There we go. I have a self-checker for you. Okay, so solve the equations on paper and then check your answers on here. Only put the number value, do not put the variable equals. For example, don't put x equals 4. Only put 4. That's just because so many kids might put spaces or might not put spaces, so this was actually the easier way to check your answers. Okay, fix any that you've missed, and then you can turn it in once you fix the ones you missed. Okay, so right here, number 1, and then select what class period you're in. So number 1, we got y equals 3. So I'm putting in 3. Okay, and then number 2, we got x equals negative 3. So you can negative and then put your 3. Now I have it, if you accidentally put a space in between, that it should accept it. Now, if you're one that you want to check each one, just put in a random numbers below. Like, let's put in 8 for all the rest of them. Just hit tab, and just fill in the rest. And you can hit submit. Let's say second hour because you're the first one. You can view your score. And it'll tell you, yes, number 1 and number 2 are correct. And then, of course, all of these are wrong because we put in random numbers. Go back to the other tab and edit your response when you get to number 3. You can keep doing that to get your problems. Now, say you did number 3 and you put in 1 and you submit again and view your score. It's going to open another tab. Well, you're like, oh no, number 3 was not 1. I am wrong. Go back, fix your problem, and then you can go back to the tab with the self-checker, edit your response, and it'll take it back so that you can keep going back until you get the right answer, or if you want to move on to another problem. Okay, so just take your time. Whatever you don't finish is homework, and tomorrow we will go over it and check our answers of Tuesday and today's homework before we do the quiz. And you can use those then to help you on the quiz. All right, so be as productive and don't make me have to be babysitting you on light speed, please. All right, have a good day. I know you can do it.